Hello everyone and welcome back to another Be Connected session. I'm Emily with you as always. Today we're going to be looking at getting started online and online shopping especially. We're going to look at I'll talk about what we'll look at in a second, but I'm very keen for this one. I have covered online shopping before, but I'm looking forward to going a little bit further with it. I spent the last session I did on shopping looking at passwords and staying safe online as the main focus. But now we're getting right into shopping, which is a fun place to be. So let's get started and run right through. Okay. So what we're going to look at today, we're going to start off with the Be Connected website as we do every week. It's the content that I get off of the website, which comes into these PowerPoints, into these presentations. So we're going to start there. We're going to look at scams, how to avoid them. Where they might be lurking online. It's very important to be careful while you're online shopping. While it is convenient and fast and gets delivered right to your door, there are several pitfalls that can come up with that. So we're going to have a look and figure out what types are out there and how to be savvy online in avoiding them. Then we look at paying safely online. We're going to be covering different payment types. So that's whether to use credit card or PayPal, or even looking at Afterpay, which is a somewhat controversial payment system that is often offered by online networks like online shops. Then we'll look at where to shop online, especially looking at what makes a site secure and will keep your information safe while shopping on there. And then we'll jump into your consumer rights at the end, which if we go through the ACCC website, are actually quite fun to read about, honestly. I didn't think I'd enjoy reading about my consumer rights, but they've made it extremely accessible now. And then we'll get into questions if we have any at the end, but not a problem if we don't. So let's get started with Be Connected. So again, it's the place where I get all my information from and then build on from that. It's an extremely accessible website, so I offer it to just about anyone that has access to a computer. And even if you don't have access to a computer, there are ways to print off the courses and read about them just in a nice physical pamphlet sort of setup. It's self-paced, no one's rushing you to complete certain topics. You can pick the ones you want as you go. Easy to use, as I've said, and you can sign in to keep track of your training. So if you like ticking boxes and going, I've done that, yes, that's something you can do as well. And I recommend doing that if you can. So what we'll do, we'll have a quick look at the Be Connected website. Just because I do it every week. So we're back on Chrome here. You might have noticed that from previous weeks, Be Connected had a different front cover, but now it's got this sort of lovely light blue teal color, and I'm liking the fresh look. So when you jump onto Be Connected, you can just type into Google Be Connected. You jump into the topic library, and from here, this is what I'm building up from. So we've covered some of the basics, nothing so simple as what is a computer, but there is that information for people out there who really just want to start from scratch, want to know from the ground up how to use technology, how to get online. So I'm going to scroll all the way through. There it is, online shopping, more online skills. This is what we're going to be covering today, shopping online, as well as a few other safety tips like avoiding scams. So that's Be Connected. Let's jump in. Wait, Tracy. Hello, Tracy. Yes, thank you for raising your hand, Tracy. Awesome. Let's jump back to the PowerPoint slide. Awesome. So that's Be Connected. That's what I'm building up from. Let's go through to avoiding scams. So what to look out for, what even is a scam? So let's have a look at some common types of scams that are especially prevalent when you're online and shopping. So one of my favorite scams, is the unexpected money scam. This is known as the Nigerian prince scam, in which that someone emails you out of the blue, says, hello, I need my money taken out of the country. I can't access it in my bank here. If you pay a small fee, I'll be able to get you all of these riches into your bank, and I'll give you a cut of the take, essentially. So this is one that you often get in emails because they'll often have links and can include a whole back and forth between yourself and this person. And yeah, so keep an eye out for those, generally with emails especially. Unexpected winnings. These can come in many different ways. They can be sent straight to your inbox as congratulations, you visited this site once, and a cookie on the site caught that you were on it. So even though it might look quite legit, you're like, oh, I was on that website. I did look there. I don't remember entering a lottery though. That'll be one way they get to you. Not recently, but oftentimes pop-ups on websites will come up. It'll be bright flashing lights and maybe heaps of dollar signs and things like that. It says, congratulations, you're the 1 millionth visitor on this website. You win all the prize money. Of course, not legitimate. They're just trying to get your details, your personal information. They want you to click that link and get on in there. So please avoid that. Look out for that. Most people now know that, of course, that's not real. As much as we'd like to have money just handed to us on a plate, unfortunately, no. Dating and romance scams. So this still happens. I say still, it's always been happening, just in different forms. So online, people make friends. They get catfished, essentially. So someone is sort of telling them what they want to hear, using fake photos, maybe forging what they feel is a real connection. So the victim in the circumstance. And then they may even play on your emotional triggers to get money out of you. So at that point, they'd say something like, oh, my sister's sick, she's in hospital, I need to pay the bills. Can you send some money? I know we're very close now. So, and at that point, while they may seem trustworthy, they're not, and they're taking your money because of your kindness. So keep an eye out for those. But the one today we're going to be keeping an eye out the most is buying and selling scams. So what can happen when things go wrong online, when you think you've bought something for cheap or at a great deal online and it's never come, or the thing that you've received is faulty or not as described. That's where you're being scammed at that point. So we'll look at how to work around that if that ever happens to you. I've not been scammed myself, but I have had money taken out of my account in a foreign country that I've never been to. And I'll talk about that when I talk about PayPal, because they were very helpful in getting my money back. So let's continue through. Reporting scams, ScamWatch. So the ACCC, so the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, I swear I knew the name, just left my head for a moment, has their own ScamWatch website. So let's jump over there and have a look at it. It's pretty much always up to date. They've got their own Twitter handle stuck on the sidebar of the page. So if you look down here, they've got their current up-to-date scams. Most recent post was yesterday. So very, up to date. So we've got, oh, watch out for the latest Netflix themed scam. Yep, keep an eye out for those. So you travel over to ScamWatch. It's pretty easy, great layout. I find it very easy to travel through, so I'm enjoying just looking at it at least. And they'll give you the news and alerts for current scams at the moment. Now, the last time I ran this webinar and I had a look at ScamWatch just to show people what it had on offer, they were running information on scams to do with donations for bushfire relief. So you can see that they keep up with the trends, and so do the scammers, unfortunately. So the current thing at the moment is don't get scammed looking for a lockdown puppy. And people already have lost quite a lot of money being promised that they'll get this puppy delivered to them once it's grown up enough to be delivered to them, and it's never come. So very sad, but a very cute picture of a puppy on the screen, which I appreciate. So here you can keep up to date. You can report scams that you've been scammed by or almost been scammed by. So if you've got something like a suspicious email, that's something you can report, and that'll build up their database, and they can find trends and help others and stop people getting scammed. So let's have a look at types of scams. We've got these beautiful little symbols. So this is what I've looked at here. But say if we jump into buying and selling, and they jump through all these extra bits. So something like online shopping scams, this is what we're going to be looking at. How to protect yourself and warning signs. So generally, if it's too good to be true, it is. That's the biggest thing to keep an eye out on. And yeah, so don't get caught out. And I hope none of you do. Many of us will have been, either almost scammed or have been scammed. It's often the case that we're all just too trusting. But online, you can be a little suspicious. That's okay. No one's going to say you're paranoid if you're online and you're thinking, should I give away my information? For all counts, no, you shouldn't, unless you trust the website innately and feel comfortable sharing your information. So let's jump back to our PowerPoint. So look through our scams. We've checked out ScamWatch. Please check it out if you've ever been scammed or would like to keep up to date. And again, reporting is brilliant. It helps them a lot. So let's look at how to pay safely online, how to get your money to the seller in a safe way. Payment options. So what you're offered when you're in the checkout phase of shopping, you'll often ask for a credit card, or Visa is going to be the main thing. When credit card comes up, ask yourself, do you trust the website? Are you using a safe browser? And I'll look at what makes a browser safe, or what you should be looking for on your web page that indicates, yes, this is a safe site. And then also check if your bank or your card offers fraud protection. Many places will. That's sort of the commonality, that yes, you can get your money back at some point. It may not be as quickly as you'd hope. And you have to do a lot of the groundwork in reporting and following up sellers that have either not delivered on a product or given you something that was totally not what you're expecting, and just wrong for what you ordered. So please keep in mind that while your bank can follow up these things, and some don't, so please keep in mind that as well. You do have to do a lot of the legwork in reporting, whereas what I'll recommend in a second, PayPal, is a lot easier. And you also have direct debit. Direct debit is less recommended. I don't know if it comes up that often. It's similar to BPay, and yet you provide your bank details in order for this account, this seller, to access your money. Highly not recommended, unfortunately. It does come up still in some places, but oftentimes it's going to be a credit card or Afterpay or PayPal. And we'll look at Afterpay now. Let's look at Afterpay. So Afterpay is a separate way to pay online. It's sort of a bit like a credit card system in that your credit card, your Afterpay, will pay up front the cost, and then you pay off in 4 parts that which you've purchased off of. So as it says, paying 4 installments with 0 interest and no fees. I don't recommend it to people. It's a little iffy. It's not that it's not totally safe, but you can get charged fees, of course, for having late payments, as is expected. They don't advertise that. They're not pleased to tell you that. They're not going to upfront give you that information upfront. Yeah, so 0 interest, never any additional fees when you pay on time. So as expected, if you're late with your fees, with payments, you may get charged a fine. And I don't know what the amount of that is. I've not used it myself. I don't trust it, or I just don't think it creates a good spending ethic. It'll end up, from what I know at least, it'll promote this idea that you have more money than you can spend, and might even result in overspending. So while it's there and it can be extremely handy, unless you're financially in a very good place, I wouldn't recommend using Afterpay. The risk of those fees is too high, and I don't know what the value is. So while it is very cool and very trendy, Afterpay is often advertised in sort of younger stores for sort of teenage people, kind of low, early adulthood. And they're sort of stuck on the side saying, we offer Afterpay, come shop. So yeah, not a great system. I wouldn't recommend it. Very convenient, obviously, and extremely tempting. So keep an eye out for that. And if you've got anyone in your life that's using Afterpay, just maybe ask them how it works for them, and if they're keeping up with their payments as well, and if it's if it works for them. I'd be very interested to know if someone's been using this for a long time, extremely successfully, and still feels comfortable using Afterpay. I'd be interested. Okay, so we've had a look at Afterpay, credit card, and debit. Let's have a look at PayPal, the payment system I highly recommend, and is recommended by Be Connected as well. So PayPal acts as the middleman between yourself and the seller. They actually, while you will buy something off of, say, any website, I'm going to look at Booktopia in a little bit. So if you were to buy something off of Booktopia, if you pay with PayPal, they're going to be sending the money through PayPal to Booktopia. And what you're doing is actually paying PayPal to do that on your behalf. So what the seller is receiving, so Booktopia on the far end, is receiving information from PayPal and not your personal information. So it's PayPal who has your personal information, is looking after it, and you're not ever having to give it off elsewhere. Whenever I'm offered to pay with PayPal, I take that chance right away. I go, yes, I would like to do that. All you have to do is pre-make an account. So sign up with PayPal. It's totally free. And you put in your bank details, either your bank account details or a card. So if you were happy to pay by credit card anyway, this was a good place to do it. That, and if you ever thought that PayPal might mess you up in some way, you'd have your bank protection as well before that. So credit card, bank, that in between area. PayPal is extremely safe. It's trusted, most trusted online payment brand out there, it claims. We'll see if that's true. But the cool thing about PayPal is that the people selling, so sellers, people who have online stores, have to pay PayPal in order to use PayPal. So to have it on their website as an availability for customers to use, they pay a fee either per transaction or as a subscription base. I've not checked, but you can read about it on their website. It's free access information. You don't have to actually have a business to find that out. So I might look at that in a little bit actually. But they're paying in order to use PayPal. So there's already this level of, okay, this website knows what customers want and they're willing to pay an amount in order to get a bit more foot traffic in. I have had at times when I've been particularly lazy, where I've looked up something, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll buy that. And I've gone to the website and it hasn't offered PayPal. And I've gone, I have to get my card out. And then I kind of pause and go, maybe I don't need this now. Maybe I don't need this thing. And I kind of close the app and get on with my day. So at least for people like me who are far too lazy to get their actual physical card out and type all the numbers through, offering PayPal is extremely valuable. So yeah, so every time I see PayPal, I instantly have a little extra faith and trust in the website I'm buying from. That, and it also offers buy protection. So much like your bank, between your credit card and your bank, would be able to give you a chargeback. So that's the name of what you would call getting your money back for the product that you never received or was totally broken or not what you expected. You'd be getting a chargeback fee from your bank at some point. They'd have to investigate, and it can take a little bit. If you've had that before, it's not instant. Or you can have it done with PayPal if you've used PayPal at the time. They've got a full list of everything that you've purchased, your history, if you've got spending habits. So if you buy from a certain pizza place every other week, they go, okay, yep, we know that's you, you're the one doing that. But if you were to have a transaction come out of your account in a country overseas, and you're going, I didn't do that. I didn't receive that product. I never went to that website. At that point, they'd be able to go, okay, yes, this person doesn't live in that country. It doesn't make sense that there'd be a charge from there on their account. This is suspicious. Myself, I've had that before. Someone bought, I think it was sunglasses. It wasn't anything exciting. They bought something like sunglasses online, and it definitely wasn't me. So I reported it to PayPal. They have a very easy reporting system, great for customers. And I reported it and they said, yep, this doesn't look like you. It looks like suspicious activity. Please update your details, change your password if that is what you want to do. And I did, because obviously someone had gotten a hold of that information somehow, probably through cookies or with website scrolling and things like that, where I might have gone to a suspicious website without realizing and entered my details. So that's probably what happened, I think, in the end. But what PayPal did was they refunded my money right away. So I got a charge back within that day. And then, well, actually it was the next day. So it took a day, but I got the money back, and then they followed up on the investigation and fixing it on the other end. So I didn't have to do anything after that point. I had my money back. I was happy. And then I just fixed up my details to make sure I wasn't going to have that happen to me again from a website picking up my information. So highly recommend PayPal for that, especially buyer protection. And you can send money between PayPal accounts. It's another safe way to do it. So if you don't have someone's, BSB account number on you, you can have them as a friend on PayPal, and you can send money through to them. So this is great for something like in the picture here. Nina has sent this person $20 for dinner. It was tacos and pizza, it looked like. So it's a great way to send through or split the bill. It's a really quick way to do it that way. Versus having them already set up on your bank account on your phone. If you use online internet banking with the app, which I do, it's a lot quicker through PayPal, and you can pick which account it's being put into, because you've given however many cards you want to PayPal. So you might have like a credit card, there may be a debit card on another one, and maybe even you've put your bank details for a certain bank if you're comfortable with that. It is recommended just to do the card, just so you have that extra buffer between PayPal, your bank. You can have a PayPal card bank. Yeah, so you can pick which account it goes into. So there's a little more flexibility there, and it does feel quite safe. And it's kind of a fun social way to keep track of, okay, how much have you paid me? Have you paid me for the thing I wanted? I bought pizza that night. Did you pay me back? And you can be like, you didn't. Or you did, thank you very much. And yeah, so you can use it with your credit or bank account. Excellent, so that's PayPal, highly recommended. If you've not checked it out, give it a go and consider it. It's extremely safe, and I use it all the time, if that means anything to you. So let's look at where to shop online, what makes a website safe, and all that. So let's have a look. So ask yourself, you're shopping, you want to buy something, do I trust this website? So what I would look at first is know who I'm buying from. So know your retailer, know how to contact them if something went wrong, for example. So know their phone number or email, and if they've got a physical address, know where that is as well. And I'll show you on the next website I'm going to open up Booktopia. I buy from them all the time, and they're extremely trustworthy and quick with orders. So I've never had a problem with them. So I'll show you why they are such a good website and what makes them safe. Look for a secure web address. So at the very top of your search bar, I should say address bar, your website will have https://:www.website name. So big Booktopia in this case. What you're looking for is that S. It means the site is secure. Without the S, it could mean a whole range of things. It could be that you've got other websites looking into this website and keeping track of what's happening. It could be very easy for a hacker or some sort of online pirate to view what you're typing. They could record your keystrokes. Keystrokes being what buttons you press at what time, which is mainly used for, okay, they've entered their username. Now, what is their password? And while you wouldn't be able to read it on the screen because it's all little asterisk symbols, they'd read your keystrokes and know what your password is. So that can happen on an unsecure website, and we'll show you how to see that at the top of your screen as well, which is just looking for the HTTPS versus the HTTP. Read reviews of the website, not only of the product you're buying, which is good to do as well, but of the retailer. There are many places out there like Choice, Canstar, I think, but Australian professional reviewers that do this as their job and give updated information as to how trustworthy the website is. Some people will pop in complaints or just good reviews, so keep an eye out for those. Getting an idea of what your website is and how they're looked at by other people is good to know as well. Read the terms and conditions and returns policy. Very important, especially if something goes wrong. Most often you're only going to read the returns policy when you want to return something, but it's good to do beforehand, especially if it's a large purchase. If you're buying, say, a laptop or something expensive off the internet, have a look at their returns policy, the warranty, all of that, and consider what would happen if it went wrong, and if buying from this website in particular is the best option. They all have different terms and conditions. They're all going to be based around they are going to be the same. They're going to be based around the consumer law of Australia. Although if you're buying overseas, some Australian laws can apply, but most don't. So something like, and it's talked about in a video I'll show you later on. I maybe won't play it. I'm not sure if it'll run through our Zoom webinar, but they talk about an overseas American company that sells online games, Steam. I use Steam all the time. You may not, but it's just a way to buy digital games instead of buying the hard copy for your computer. It says that Steam has recently updated its laws. I think it's 2018 recent. It was saying that it updated its laws so it matched Australian standards. So you would get that consumer law covered, even though it's a company overseas. So keep in mind, not all laws are going to apply when you're doing international buying, but definitely within Australia, they have to follow those rules. And we'll show you those in a little bit. as well as, so also retain the emails sent by the retailer and check charges on your bank or PayPal account. So keep in mind what they're taking out, though you might see at the checkout a certain amount and you go, yep, that's what I want to pay. If you go through PayPal, it'll do a second confirmation. And even, I'll talk about this in a tick as well, even if you're buying overseas, PayPal will convert the currency at that final stage. So while the website might be showing you USD, so American dollars, for example, then if you were to, okay, you look at that, you go, oh, it's fairly cheap. It's cheaper than what I would get here, of course. You press, let's go to checkout. And then if you were to press pay at that point with a credit card, I'm not sure if it would let you know the Australian currency. It would just say, yeah, done, you checked it through. Whereas PayPal has this final window within PayPal itself, so fully secure PayPal window that comes up. It's outside of the retailer now, it's PayPal, and they'll convert it to the current, whatever the conversion rate is at the time. And it'll go, okay, this is actually this much. Are you okay with paying this amount? And at that point, you can cancel if it's far too much or not what you expected. So keep in mind different currencies. Most websites have a converter now within the website. So in the top right-hand corner, oftentimes will show what currency you're working with. So keep in mind that it could be American, it could be any other dollar form or pound, euro, yen, whatever you're using. Excellent. So I think we're going to have a look at Booktopia. I'll just cut to my front slide. Okay, cool. That was just an extra thing. We'll look at that in a tick. Let's jump over to Booktopia. Here is my new screen share. There you go, Booktopia. Ta-da! Lovely and green. Sorry, having a drink. Excellent. So best thing, not best thing, it's a great website. One brilliant thing I see right away, instantly, is that we have a phone number at the very top of the screen in a lovely bright orange. So it sticks out from the green. You see, oh, this is how I contact this person. And they even have a help center readily available in the top left-hand corner, which is pretty good real estate for a website. It's a good space to have. And they're using it to show customer support, which obviously shows that front and center, they think of their customer and their overall experience on the website. Although, I say that, but of course they want to show their products, how to navigate, because oftentimes people aren't looking for terms and conditions. So what they do, and most websites will do this, they'll have all of their fine print all the way at the bottom. So let's scroll all the way down. There you go. So it even gives you a little manifesto, which is nice. You often have to click the About section to find that. Let's scroll down further. Here we go. So first off, what comes out to me, which isn't normally on other websites, are all their awards. My goodness. I'll just see if there's any current ones. We've got 2018. Wow, incredible, lots of awards. They also show you their payment methods. So Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Visa Checkout, PayPal, Masterpass, Afterpay. I mean, most websites are going to offer Afterpay because it's still fairly popular, though I am skeptical. But what you can see right away is, again, that lovely big phone number in large print. They've got their opening hours for their time, for your time zone. Interesting. Opening hours for when they can receive calls. And then they give you the location of their head office, which I deeply appreciate. I love a store that has an actual physical storefront. Not that I'd ever be able to visit. It's all the way in New South Wales, and that isn't open right now to South Australia. But they also offer an ABN, which is, of course, the Australian business number. Great to have. Love that they've got that there. I believe you have to have that there. So I'm glad they've got it. It's required of the website. But that way, you know exactly who you're dealing with. They're not some pop-up website. Some pop-up shops exist out there. It's not uncommon. They often pop up on social media platforms, so Facebook and Instagram for the most part. There'll be very brief shops that are open online, only online. There won't be a physical place you can visit. There may not even be any contact details associated with that pop-up website. But what will happen is that when you make a purchase, you pop your money through, they'll either keep your details for something else, or they'll accept your money and give you something you weren't asking for, or the quality will be very bad, or it won't be what you expected. And then these shops, when you go to file a complaint or contact them and say, this isn't what I wanted, I want my money back, and things like that, they'll have already disappeared because they're a pop-up shop, disappear, like come and go. So keep an eye out for all of these markers that indicate that this has been around for a while and it's a dedicated website that isn't going to go anywhere. It's has brilliant foundations. So I'm looking here, I'm seeing, okay, good, an Australian business number, great start. I'm seeing, okay, they have a copyright notice and they've been using the term Booktopia for 17 years. Congratulations. Yeah, so all these markers tell me, yes, this is a good site. Next, of course, is does this have an HTTPS? It does. And most browsers will do this as well. They'll show you a little lock symbol to show you that it's secure. You can click on that. It'll say connection is secure. I'm currently on Chrome, which makes it very easy to navigate, but all other web browsers should do it as well. So keep an eye out for that. They'll let you know about cookies. Cookies track what you've looked at on other websites. So you'd be pretty tough to find a website that wouldn't have cookies anymore, unless they're totally without advertising and things like that. Cookies track things you've liked. So if you've ever noticed all these pop-up ads on various websites, you might have noticed that, oh, this ad looks like that pair of socks I was looking at on Target online the other day. I was like, huh, why is that? And then you'll change to a different website, more ads on it, because that's how they make their revenue. And you go, oh, it's the sock again. That ad's there again. And of course, these are what cookies do. They figure out, okay, what have you looked at? What have you shopped for before? Let's tailor their ads to things that they would want to buy, for example. Yeah, I don't know the ethics of that. It is advertising, so it's already fairly grey. But you do have to accept cookies when you go onto most websites. Some websites will have a disclaimer. Oh, I'll just block these cookies. Let's see what that one, cookies from being blocked. Cookies from Booktopia blocked. Interesting. I'll reload. But some websites will have just that. In that visiting the site, you've already confirmed that you're okay with using cookies. Cookies are almost impossible to avoid these days. You can, of course, turn them off when you realize that you've been found out or someone's like, the cookies have activated. But of course, it's sort of the life we lead. I would recommend getting an ad blocker, which is a fairly simple plugin for, sorry for doing quotations, a fairly simple plugin for a web browser. You would just go into, say, if we're in Chrome, I would go into settings. And then I would imagine plugins or something like that would be here, advanced extensions. Not quite. Well, if you're looking for that, please let me know and I'll go through it in more detail. It's not easy to access right away, so I won't do it. I won't spend too much time looking for them. But ad blockers are free, they're safe, they're oftentimes recommended by your browser. Of course, seeing ads is the way that websites can pay to have their website up if they're not a huge business like Booktopia. So maybe it's not so bad to see those ads, but if you find them extremely annoying or they keep popping up and stopping you from doing things, consider getting an ad blocker. It's just an additional plugin to put onto your browser. I've got one on all of the browsers I use at home, and I've never found it to fail. So that's something I recommend as well, if you find ads to be a little too much. Let's jump back to our PowerPoint slide and have a look at extra tips. So did I cover everything? Let's make sure. Web address, I didn't check reviews, but I am the review. I like Booktopia, 2 thumbs up. Had a phone number, yes. Terms and conditions, yeah, that's in there as well, it's at the bottom. Brilliant, okay, additional tips for shopping online. Keep an account for frequently visited sites. So create an account. This saves lots of time. You can always sign in as a guest, that's okay. But what you can do with, if you've signed in, you can have a look at all of your previous orders. I have that with Booktopia, especially because I make quite a few orders each year. And I can go, what books have I got? I could check my bookshelf. But you can look at what you've bought before, what were the prices, what kind of bargain did you get, things like that. And they also let you find your tracking order that way. So you'll be able to see, okay, how long is this taking? And where did it come from when it was sent, things like that. So that's one way to do it. Oftentimes I'll just send it straight to your email anyway, and you can view it through email. So something like making an account and then viewing it later on isn't necessarily necessary, but you can do it. I know things like you get not frequent flyer points, what are they called? You get extra coupons and bonuses for being a member of a website. So for example, I buy pizza from Crust every now and then. And if you sign up with them, so you make an account and give them your email address, which is where they're going to be sending you promotional stuff, which is kind of why they want you to sign up rather than be a guest member. But if you sign up, you get a free pizza each delivery. It's great fun. So they give you perks in order for you to sign up. They want you to. They'll oftentimes send you coupon codes and things like that to keep you interested. Of course, the idea of a coupon code is to use it on your next spend. And their thought is, okay, we'll give them some free spending to use on their next order because they're more likely to jump online and use us the next time because they know they've got a coupon, for example. So that's up to you. You can create an account. It's great for listing previous orders and making checkout really quick. But of course, if you're not comfortable with that, you do not have to. They always offer a guest option as well. Use a dedicated email address. So if you find that your inbox is getting quite full of promotional stuff or your orders that are coming through and updates, make a newer email for just shopping. It could be your current email name, then add shopping or something like that. But if you're happy to make an extra email, that's a great way to do it. It'll free up your inbox and it actually keeps identity theft. It lowers the chances of that happening. So what would happen is you can even make a fake name. I'm just thinking about delivery. That probably wouldn't work. You need a real name for delivery. But it means that every other website that you visit wouldn't be compromised if this one account got compromised, for example. So it's good to have maybe 1 or 2 email addresses active that you use. I personally have about 4 that I use on the regular. That might be far too much and far too many passwords to remember, but I find that extremely helpful. Again, as I've mentioned before, watch out for other currencies. So if you're shopping in an American store online, keep in mind that the price is going to go up at the final checkout. So I have a converter open on my other tab in Google, for example, and I just check the prices and what it would equate to in Australian dollars if I were to purchase it, for example. So I'm not surprised at the end. And be mindful of delivery fees. Delivery fees can come in several ways. You can come with express post, standard post, although express post isn't coming all that quickly these days. So it might be worth just waiting for it a bit longer. But keep in mind that depending on the size of your order, you could be getting a larger package or several smaller packages. I always do my best to put everything in one order. That way I know it only has one tracking code and it's going to have one trip sort of thing to get to me. Oftentimes, and Booktopia does this annoyingly, if they don't have a book in stock, they won't wait until that book comes in before sending out the item. And this might be a good thing, honestly. It probably is better. They'll send out the item that, yes, they have in stock, and then send it right to you as it is, so a single packet. Booktopia do these great sort of sealed cardboard and not plastic, but sticky and cardboard. So it's just like a very thin, light package they can throw on your doorstep. But then they'll wait until the other one has come in, either from a different storeroom or things like that, or supplier, and then they'll send it off. So you do end up getting 2 packages, even though you only ordered 1 order together. And they do disclaim that this could happen if something is, not in stock or would take a few more days to deliver, for example. So I find I don't mind it. The waste can get a bit much sometimes. I've had an order with several books and I ended up getting 3 different deliveries for these books. So I had 3 large packaging, rubbish things to end up with. I think they can be recycled, though I'm not sure about the sealing plastic on the inside. I have to check on that. I've not thrown them away recently. I've been too concerned with the waste. Or in terms of deliveries, check out Click and Collect. If you think that you're comfortable at this time to go out and pick up the item, that's a great way to do it. It saves you from browsing in the store. They collect all of the items that you want in one place. So they even wrap it up, put it in a bag or a box for you. And then you just have to go in and pick it up. That way, there's no waiting for a delivery. You just have to go in and pick it up. So it's brilliant to do if you've got an order of something that you definitely know what you want. You don't want to be hassled in store when purchasing something because you know what you want. You've already ordered it. You just walk up to the front and pick it up. You just need to bring some form of ID or the confirmation email and some ID. And that's how you do it. Okay, those are additional tips. Please jump in at any time if you guys feel like I'm going too fast or if I've not covered something properly, please let me know. Otherwise, let's continue. So what if something goes wrong? First, it could have been an accident. Let's not jump to conclusions, although generally we do online. Try and contact the seller. Perhaps this has just gotten lost in the mail. Maybe your order was left out. If it's something that hasn't arrived yet, contact the seller, see how they respond. Oftentimes the the customer service can be very good, depending on the quality of the website. Sometimes it can be very bad, and sometimes they'll try to downplay your order and say it'll come or something like that. So contact the seller first, and then if you feel that nothing's going to happen with that seller or they're not adhering to your consumer rights as they should, which we'll look at in a second, you can contact your bank or PayPal, depending on what you're using. Preferably PayPal. They're very quick with their responses, and they're very good at keeping up to date with things. So if you find that you have been gypped in some way, you didn't receive what you paid for, contact PayPal and they'll get you that charge back. So wait for reversal of charges is the last step. That's assuming everything went okay at the point of talking to your bank or PayPal. PayPal is very good. Banks can be a little iffy. They would like a lot of proof. So there'll be a lot of back and forth, and you might find that at one point you'll go, oh, it's not even worth it. Whatever I had bought isn't worth all the time and stress you're going through. So I highly, again, recommend PayPal. Very easy, all online, no need to call anyone, no waiting on hold, things like that. And then wait for reversal of charges. And it's best to know what your rights as a consumer are. So let's have a look at the ACCC. Let me just jump over. Close my window. Come back, Chrome. ACCC. Let's have a look. Get my screen share back up. Here we go. So here's the ACCC. This is where you can learn about your consumer rights. It looks like a lot, which it is, but it's also extremely well manageable. You can go up to consumer, that's us, and you can go into report a consumer issue. So something that's happened. This isn't necessarily for one product. It could be for a company-wide issue, for example, or a law being breached by a company. So I guess in that case, yes, it would be one thing that happened. And then you report, give them a description and any associated files if you have them. So that would be things like emails that you've been back and forth with, the image of the product you received, or the proof of payment that you didn't receive anything and things like that. So this can be done through the ACCC and they'll get back through to you. This is kind of the last step. If you find that nothing's been helping, nothing's been working, this is where you'd come to, and this is where you can really get down to the nitty-gritty. So if you're interested, have a read. You can look at your consumer rights and guarantees. And I'm looking for online shopping. I know it's here. Have a look at it. Here we go, online shopping. So things like eBay get covered here, general shopping online tips, how to stay safe. So this website can essentially do what I've just done and tell you all about it. So you're welcome to have a look. And there's a cute video here that talks about internet shopping explained in memes, which I've had a look at. It's fairly cute. It's okay. But it's nice that they're thinking of the, the consumer level, what we might like to see, which is a fun video with like pandas and stuff. All right, let's go back to our PowerPoint. So check the ACCC, know your rights, know what you're entitled to, and then from that point you can go forward quite confident in your knowledge of what you're entitled to as an Australian consumer. So as extra credit, there's this brilliant video by The Checkout that came out a couple years ago. I think it's 2018. It's a lot of fun. I will play 20 seconds of it if it loads. Here we go. It's thinking about it. Oh, it's not. My PowerPoint's not responding. I'm having a good day, guys. All right, let me just cancel my share. It's me again, big in the center. Hello. Let's restart my PowerPoint. I had a YouTube video embedded in the PowerPoint. I think that's what's tripped it up. So I might just copy paste the video if I, still think you want to see it, but that's what's happened. Okay, let me open up my PowerPoint again. Go back to the right side. Yep, click, 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 click. That's me, click it. Click open. Ooh, Thank you for waiting so patiently. Okay. You can see the title is now last saved by user because I had to close and open it again. Okay, it's back. I'm gonna just click on it, see what happens. Oh no. Yes. Click. I thought I was being so clever by embedding a video. Oh well, that's just the way. Okay, I've clicked on the link now. Maybe something will open. Have you guys had a nice day? I'm having a nice time. A bit wild, but here we are. Okay, it's not responding. I might just leave it for now, or I might copy paste it. Let's close that window. I'd like to restart the program. Don't report the problem, it's fine. Here we go. Okay. It's doing something. It's doing a thing. Cool. All right. So I'm just going to copy paste it. And that way we'll be able to see what it looks like and maybe quickly watch it. But not a problem if we can't. Not a big deal. Here we go. All right, I've got the link open. I've got the video open. It's back to sharing. That's loud on my screen. Is that loud for you guys? I imagine it is. Oh me, oh my. Okay. I've never shared a video on Zoom before, so I'm actually quite interested to see what happens if it does work. So I'm going to play a little bit of the sound. So please get ready to turn down your sound if it's too loud. I've already turned it down a bit. Here we go. Playing the video now. There we go, beautiful. So I don't know if that played for you, but it's a really humorous take at looking at your consumer rights when shopping online, done in kind of an 80s style. So that's really fun. Forcing my humor on all of you. Beautiful, okay, so I've minimized that screen. I don't know what that looks like. It says it's paused, good to know. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. Yeah, that's done, I think. Beautiful. So I'm at question phase. I don't know if we're going to have any questions today. I have run through this before. So if you don't have any questions, it's not a problem. I will briefly pause my recording just in case people need some extra time, but I'll be right back with you. Okay, beautiful, excellent. So for the final part of our slideshow, we can look at how to stay connected with us. So first and foremost, follow our Marion Library page. So City of Marion Libraries at Facebook. That's how you find us. Same thing on Instagram if you prefer Instagram. But Facebook is where we post our events, what's going on in the library, cool videos that we've popped online regarding storytelling and things like that. So check us out there. We even have Bricks and Bytes live show on there for young kids learning about technology. And also check out our What's On page on the City of Marion website. So I might even show you that because it's so good, so nicely designed. What's on? City of Marion. What's on? That's what you have to type in and you'll get there. So let me screen share here. New share. There we go. So this is on Chrome. I want this logo loaded. There we go. I'm on Chrome. All you have to go through is venues and facilities, find libraries, click, and then we'll scroll down to what's on, lovely big brown button. And you'll see what's on. So we've got Library for the Lens, that's Tracy's programming. Short story competition, which is currently running. Please keep an eye out for that. And you can find Be Connected and Bricks and Bytes after that. And Library Little Monsters, very cute. Yay. So if you go to the Be Connected, you'll be able to find more sessions that we've got online. I've sent a bunch through, but I don't know if they've been uploaded just yet. You can always give us a call if they're not online. They're definitely on Facebook. I put them on Facebook. Here we go. So next week, we're going to be looking at introduction to digital photography, everything from DSLR cameras, so the ones with the big lenses and the large body, all the way to your iPhone and how to take photos on there, and especially getting them online. That's a big thing that people have been asking about. How do I get my photos online and where can I share them? So you can find new sessions coming up, book yourself in, and you can watch back sessions I've already covered before. So we've got them up on our City of Marion YouTube, and you can see that's me there. So you can watch this back again if you're so interested. Well, everyone, we've done extremely well today. We've breezed through this. I know it's been an hour, but we have sort of breezed through it. So I'll say thank you, and I'll let you all get on with your day. Thank you again for visiting me and stopping by. I hope to see you in the next one. Beautiful. Bye, guys.